everyone, welcome back to Do More Art. My name is Bailey and I'm here to show you all another fun, easy at-home art project. Today we're going to be learning something called Cubism, and Cubism is a style of art where they take every possible point of view of an object or a person and they slap it onto one piece. What I mean by that is, take my face for example, or your face, and you're looking at it straight on. You can see my nose and my eyes and my mouth, and they all look pretty normal. And then when I turn, this is another perspective, and you can see now that you can see the side of my nose, and you can see my eyes looking in this direction. And what artists will do for Cubism, they will take this perspective and combine it with this perspective and other perspectives as well. Here's an example by Pablo Picasso right here, and you can see how he's taken that nose on the side angle and the eyes on the side angle, but it kind of feels like the face is looking the other direction and the mouth is a straight on perspective. So that's one example. Another example is this piece. I don't know the artist, I'm sorry. It probably is Picasso if I had to guess. But this one is a little more detailed and very cubic almost, kind of boxy and geometric, which is kind of where it gets that name for the movement. And we are going to be focusing on that style today, but we're definitely going to be simplifying it so that it's easier for you and easy for me to teach you. But it's a lot of fun and it looks really cool in the end, so I'm excited for you all to try it. As always, I'm going to start with the supply list. So here's the supply list. It's really simple. You're going to need a piece of paper for your project, a ruler. This is very important, a ruler or a straight edge. It doesn't have to have measurements on it, but you do need a straight edge of some kind. Coloring utensils. You can use basically anything for this project. Yeah, really anything. And a pencil to sketch out your drawing. So normally, I can never figure out what to draw for my project. And if you are a regular of Do More Art, you might recognize this guy. For those of you who do not know who this is Leonardo da Vinci, Leo for short. He is our idea guy, because if you know anything about Leonardo da Vinci, he is an artist, but he was also an inventor. And so he came up with all sorts of ideas, and he is our idea guy. So he always has this little bag little box of ideas. So I'm just going to circle around, and you never have to actually go with the first idea that you get. And I'm just going to read a few if you need an idea at home. So ice cream, they're all very random. Like I said, you don't have to use the idea, but it might give you an idea for a different thing. A house, let's see, trees and bushes. I'll do a few more here. Something scary. And last one, I'm going to draw an umbrella. That sounds kind of fun. I think I'm going to go with an umbrella for this project, but you can choose whatever you want. If you want to follow along and do an umbrella, that's great. But let's get started. Okay, so before we get started, just make sure again that you have all the supplies you're going to need for this project. You're going to need a piece of paper, a pencil, coloring utensils of your choice. I'm going to be using crayons today, and a ruler. So thank you to Leo for giving us an idea for this project. We're going to be doing an umbrella, and you can follow along and do an umbrella with me if you'd like, or you can create your own design and just get the process of it at least on the video. Let's start out with like a half crescent kind of thing here. Maybe make it a little bit longer. Now I'm going to be doing kind of like fish scales or scallops to help form the umbrella. Then I'm going to make a little notch at the top for it. And then from that point, I'm going to connect the corners here to that notch that I just drew. And you kind of want to have it, if you're making an umbrella, you kind of want to have it to have that curved effect. So just kind of follow the lines there. And then we're going to make the hook. Kind of a long hook, but it works. And then maybe some clouds because it's a rainy day. All right, so there is my umbrella. Now what you're gonna do before you start coloring it, we are going to take our ruler and kind of cube it up, I guess, make it some cubism. So here we are going to, you can take your ruler and put it anywhere on the page. You can take it from, you know, side to side basically and just draw a line. And then you can also draw a line not all the way through the paper, but maybe stop at the edge of your drawing or something. But you're gonna keep creating lines until you are satisfied. And I think that looks good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and color it. And what I like to do for this part, and it's completely up to you, but this is my preference, I like to kind of shade each piece. So like this triangle right here, I will get dark in one part of it. So I'm pressing really hard with my crayon right now, and you can do this with colored pencils, you can do it with paint. It's a little difficult with markers if you're working with markers, but you can definitely do this with crayons. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I've colored pretty hard right there, and then I'm loosening my grip kind of and not pressing as hard as I go out to the other side. And then just kind of blend it in the middle. And it's not perfect, but that's okay. So there is a triangle. And then if you want, if you have like other blues for the sky, you could take a darker blue. I only have this blue, so that's what I'm gonna use. But if you have a darker blue, you could do a darker blue there and do kind of the same effect. There's a bunch of different ways you can go about it, but I'm gonna take my time and fill this in. All right, so there is my finished piece. Just wanna go over a few of the things that you might have seen me do as I was working on it. As you can tell, this part right here is a lot lighter than most of the other parts around it, and that's because I realized as I got closer that this value and that value are kind of the same, so I didn't want them to look like they were part of the same shape. And I kind of did the same thing down here. So let me try to find an example. So like down here, you don't want this side to be just as dark as that side. You want to make sure that you can tell that there's a line between those two. So that's why we focus on pressing hard on one side and light on another. And if you aren't doing that and you're working with markers or something, then you want to do kind of what I did with the umbrella itself, which is where I used different shades of purple or purple and magenta. And then down here again with the orange and yellow. And you can do that with any colors that you'd like, but just kind of, you want to make sure that each shape is different from the one next to it. That way you can tell what the picture is, but also get that cubism feel to it. So that is cubism. I hope you all really enjoyed that project. As you can tell from our project, I just wanted to go over it a little bit, that you can tell that we didn't do what I talked about in the beginning of this video where it's different perspectives. You can definitely try that on your own. This is just a simplified version, and it does still kind of have the same effects as that same second painting that I showed you, where it has different values within the shapes and it still captures that geometric cubism type feel. So that is cubism. Like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed it. I know I did. I always do. But as always, please, please, please share your work. We can't wait to see it. And until next time, I'll see y'all for do more art.